The Lost Horse. This is an ancient Chinese fable that tells the story of a kind-hearted man. He lived in a remote village and was respected by all his neighbors. The man was a farmer, raised in a family full of love and good manners. His wisdom inspired such respect that everyone constantly consulted him on various subjects. The farmer always had a comforting word or a kind word to give to people. He lived in peace with himself and with others. One day, as if by magic, a magnificent horse arrived at his farm. The animal had a shiny white coat and fantastic musculature. It moved with a unique elegance, and it could be said that it was a purebred. The horse began to graze and stayed to live on the farm of the brave man, the protagonist of this Chinese fable. The old Chinese fable tells us that the villagers were surprised. According to local customs, since the horse had arrived at the farm on its own, it belonged to the farmer. Everyone said to him, "What luck you've had!" But the brave man in our story replied, "Perhaps." He added, "But what looks like a blessing can sometimes be a curse." Others did not understand what he meant. They came to think that he had become ungrateful. How could he not think that the arrival of this extraordinary horse on his farm was a blessing? The animal surely must be worth a fortune. Nothing better could have happened to him. Winter came. One morning, the farmer woke up very early and noticed that the stable door was wide open. He approached and noticed that the magnificent horse was no longer there. Either it had escaped or someone had stolen it. The news spread quickly throughout the village. Neighbors came to the farm. They wanted to express their condolences to this humble man. "We are truly sorry for you," they said. But the protagonist of this Chinese fable remained completely serene. He told them not to worry. He added, "What looks like a curse can sometimes be a blessing." Everyone thought he had lost his mind. That year's winter passed slowly. However, as always, the trees began to fill with leaves, and the birds began to sing again. Spring arrived. One afternoon, the farmer was working on cultivating his land when he suddenly heard a neigh. The humble protagonist of this Chinese fable turned to look and recognized the lost horse with its white and shiny fur. However, the wonderful animal had not returned alone. Behind him, 20 other horses followed him obediently. The farmer was surprised. They were all beautiful specimens and were heading toward his land. The animals stayed on the farm, and the law allowed their ownership. The neighbors couldn't believe that such luck accompanied the farmer so resolutely. They congratulated him on his new acquisition. As usual, the humble man only replied, "What seems like a blessing can sometimes be a curse." The farmer saw that hard work awaited him. The horses that had arrived with the beautiful white specimen were wild. They would need to be tamed, one by one. Only his eldest son and he were capable of doing it, but it would take too long. Autumn was already approaching when the farmer's son set out to tame the most rebellious of all the horses. Although the young man was skilled at this task, the horse knocked him over, fracturing his leg. Neighbors rushed to help and asked how they could assist. "What bad luck you've had," they said to the farmer. As usual, he replied, "What looks like a curse can sometimes be a blessing." Just a week later, war broke out. The emperor sent recruiters to enlist all the young people in the village. The only one spared was the farmer's son because he was recovering from a broken leg. It was only then that the others understood the great wisdom of the farmer. Since then, this Chinese fable has been passed down from generation to generation, so that no one forgets that nothing is inherently good or bad.